By the door there are the simultaneous translation headsets. Please feel free to grab one. And otherwise I think we will begin. We will begin this session now, and I will pass it over to Luis to do the introduction. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon to everybody. Thanks for being here with us. After a clarifying introduction about the opportunities in Latin America and how it's faced from the United States, which is a reference, obviously, for Europe, it's time to invest some time hearing country experts on challenges and business investment operations. Here with us, we have 5 experts coming from different countries. Carlos Balderrama, who is the president at the Economic Development Council of Sinaloa, Mexico. Laura Porto, the operations director at Fuerza Eólica de Brasil and country manager at Iberdrola Renováveis do Brasil. Evaldo Vilela, deputy secretary of state for science, technology and higher education at the government of Minas Gerais, Brazil. Fiorella Molinelli, advisor to the President at the Supervisory Agency for Investment in Energy and Mining, OSINERMIN. And finally, Santiago Madriñán, Executive Director at the Colombian Business Council for Sustainable Development, CODESIN. We will start the session with Carlos Balderrama. Please, Carlos.
Thank you very much. I'm going to try to do it in English. I have only 10 minutes to say the good things about my state. I'm going to talk about a little bit of Mexico as a whole, but I'm going to talk about Sinaloa, and you will see where it's located. But I think the guys that were before me, I think they work for Mexico government. I don't, but they're doing a terrible job. Great job, I'm sorry. great job. Okay. Mexico is accelerating the pace of its economic growth in 44.7 approximately. In addition, foreign investment in 2002 was almost $13 billion. Currently, Mexico is conducting structural amendments in sectors like telecommunications, labor, education, and soon energy will be the next. And currently, we are undergoing in a key moment on development renewable energies. Mexico as a whole has experienced an increase in energy consumption on 4% a year. And Sinaloa is one of the regions with greatest growth for power consumption in Mexico. Its power consumption has increased above the national average of 0.6%. And last year, power rates, like we heard before in the talk, have had a growth trend between 5.5% and 6% annually. Our state has installed capacity of power generation on more of 1,700 megawatts and provides 3% of Mexico's total power production. But power generation depends on fossil energy by more of 50%. And that's why we have a great potential for the development of renewable energies. Sinaloa is one of Mexico's states with less development on renewable energy. Despite our abundant natural resources like water, sun, and biomass, Sinaloa generates only 31 megawatts of renewable energy. That's it. And we have one of the highest levels of solar radiation in Latin America, with a potential estimated in 1,200 megawatts. And you can see on the top, we have a potential of hydropower of almost 600, and biomass about 226 megawatts, in main hydro 222. We don't have nothing but hydropower and oil production of electricity. We don't have any sun production, nada, zero, niente. On wind, we have a coastline, as you can see in the red, of about 650 kilometers, where the power of the wind is between 5 and 6 meters per second. And its potential is estimated in 50 megawatts, because currently this type of energy has not been taken advantage, so the real utilization potential of the different microclimates existed in Sinaloa is unknown. In solar power, as you all know, all the countries located in the latitude plus minus 35 degrees to the equator are known to the Sunbelt regions because they have the highest level of solar radiation on the planet annually. Mexico is located in that latitude and is also located within the top 5 countries with the greatest potential for utilization of solar energy. The state of Sinaloa is one of the regions with the greatest photovoltaic potential in thermal solar. And the average radiation rate is 5.5 kilowatt hour per square meter. And its estimated average of 6.3 effective hours of power generation per day. Its utilization potential is about 150 megawatts. Biomass. Sinaloa has the most agricultural surface in the country, with over 1.6 million hectares. Sinaloa, with 3% of the national territory and 2% of Mexico's population, produces 30% of total food that Mexico consumes. So it means we are in agriculture. It's our main source of income for the state. And that way, we represent the widest dimension of biomass in the country. Sinaloa generates around 7.4 million tons of biomass from 4 main sources of production. And we don't do nothing with it. We don't do nothing with the biomass. There's also 7 million that can be used in other ways, a means of producing energy. 89% of that waste comes from agriculture, 7% from organic waste, garbage, and 2% from livestock, as you can see. Sinaloa is the best state in Mexico for growing bioenergetics such as jatropha. The utilization potential estimates exceeds 500,000 hectares. Since 2007, CODESIN, in coordination with the state and federal authorities, and also with the research centers, implemented a scientific and technological project for the development of jatropha change. From that, it was obtaining a balanced food with high protein content that is shaping up to be a strong substitute for soybean flour, as well as energetic products such as oil, biodiesel, jet fuel, and energy pellets. The potential of jatropha is estimated about 669,000 tons of biodiesel per year and 2.5 million tons of energy pellets per year. This way, our state is taking action for energy transition. Mexico is at the top 15 main countries with greenhouse emissions. On those emissions, 70% come from energy production. To reduce this problem, the government of Mexico has passed a general law of climate change and has promoted a national energy strategy. After the United Kingdom, with such initiative of law, Mexico has become the second country to regulate by law the greenhouse effect to mitigate the effects of the climate change. The National Energy Strategy seeks to implement action that will allow to moving by the year 2027 to a form of cleaner power generation. It seeks to increase by 25% the use of natural gas and 3% of hydropower sources, as well as to reduce by 22% the use of oil for power generation. The national mandatory policy promotes in the private sector the utilization of renewable energy, mainly wind, solar, and biomass. Mexico has a great potential with a wide portfolio of resources: wind, geothermal, solar, water, and biomass. The national strategy states to generate 35% of the power from non-fossil energy by 2027. Therefore, Mexico is a viable, profitable, and attractive option for global renewable industry, as it represents a utilization potential over 45,000 megawatts. Muchísimas gracias.